In the quiet hush of the evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the room, she sat across from me on the worn leather couch, her hands fidgeting with the hem of her shirt. Her eyes, usually bright and full of laughter, were now clouded with a mix of fear and determination. She took a deep breath, her chest rising and falling noticeably, and then the words tumbled out. "I can't hold it in anymore. I'm coming out." My heart skipped a beat, not entirely sure what she meant at first, but as her gaze locked onto mine, the gravity of her confession sank in. She was revealing a part of herself that she had kept hidden for so long, a truth about her identity that society often forced into the shadows. I leaned forward, my mind racing through memories of our friendship, the late-night talks, the shared secrets, the unspoken bonds that had formed over years. "This will be our little secret," I replied softly, reaching out to take her hand in mine, feeling the tremble in her fingers. We sat there in silence for what felt like an eternity, the weight of her words hanging in the air like a fragile promise. Outside, the world continued its relentless pace. Cars honking in the distance, neighbors chatting on porches, oblivious to the monumental shift happening in this small living room. She began to explain, her voice gaining strength with each sentence, detailing the internal struggles she had faced since adolescence, the confusion, the denial, the moments of clarity that came in quiet solitude. I listened intently, nodding encouragement, my own emotions swirling, pride in her courage, concern for the challenges ahead, and a deep sense of honor that she trusted me with this. As she spoke, vivid images flashed in my mind. Her at family gatherings, putting on a facade. Her in relationships that never quite fit. Her alone in her room, wrestling with her true self. The room grew warmer, or perhaps it was just the intensity of the moment, and I offered her a glass of water, which she accepted gratefully. We delved deeper into the conversation, exploring what this meant for her future, the people she might tell next, the fears of rejection from loved ones. I shared stories of others I knew who had walked similar paths, offering reassurance that she wasn't alone. The clock ticked on, marking the passage of time, but for us, this evening marked a new chapter. She continued, recounting specific instances from her past where she felt the pull of her true identity but suppressed it for fear of judgment. One story involved a high school crush on a girl in her class, how she would steal glances during lunch, her heart pounding, but never acted on it. Another was about college, experimenting in secret, only to pull back when reality set in. I interjected with questions, gentle probes to understand better, and she answered openly, her words flowing like a dam finally broken. We discussed societal pressures, the media's portrayal of coming out stories, both inspiring and daunting. I mentioned books and movies that might help, suggesting we watch one together sometime. The conversation shifted to practicalities, how to navigate family dynamics, workplace implications, potential support groups. Her eyes lit up at the idea of connecting with others, a spark of hope igniting. As we spoke, I reflected on my own privileges, how easy it had been for me to live authentically, and vowed to be a better ally. The room filled with the scent of the candle she had lit earlier, vanilla and lavender, calming our nerves. We hugged, a long embrace that conveyed more than words could, and in that moment, I knew our bond was forever changed. The next morning dawned bright and clear, sunlight streaming through the curtains, illuminating the remnants of our late-night talk. Empty glasses on the coffee table, a throw blanket draped haphazardly. She had stayed over, crashing on the guest bed, and as I prepared breakfast, the aroma of coffee and toast filling the kitchen, I heard her footsteps approaching. She looked refreshed, though a hint of nervousness lingered in her expression. We sat at the table, sipping our drinks, and she revisited her confession, as if testing the waters in the light of day. "I can't believe I finally said it," she murmured, stirring her coffee absent-mindedly. I reassured her again. "Our little secret is safe with me." The day unfolded lazily, us deciding to take a walk in the nearby park to clear our heads. The paths were lined with blooming flowers, birds chirping overhead, a perfect backdrop for continued conversation. She opened up about her fears of discrimination, sharing articles she had read about hate crimes and workplace biases. I listened, offering counterpoints from positive stories I knew, emphasizing progress and acceptance. We stopped at a bench overlooking a pond, ducks gliding across the water, and she confessed how liberating it felt to share this with someone. I shared my own vulnerabilities, past mistakes, and regrets to level the playing field. Laughter returned as we people-watched, inventing backstories for passers-by. Lunch at a cozy cafe followed, where over sandwiches and salads, we planned her next steps, maybe talking to a therapist specializing in LGBTQ+ issues. She jotted notes on her phone, her determination evident. Afternoon brought errands, grocery shopping together, mundane tasks made meaningful by our newfound closeness. Back home, we cooked dinner, music playing softly, dancing awkwardly in the kitchen to lighten the mood. Evening saw us watching a documentary on queer history, her commenting on parallels to her life. As night fell, she thanked me profusely, hugging me tightly before heading to her own place. Alone, I pondered the responsibility of holding her secret, vowing not to let her down. Weeks passed, and our friendship evolved under the veil of her secret. We met frequently, coffee dates turning into deep discussions about identity and self-acceptance. She explored online communities anonymously, sharing snippets with me, her excitement palpable. One evening, she arrived at my door with a book on coming out stories, insisting we read it together. Pages turned, voices alternating, tears and laughter intermingling. "I'm ready to tell more people," she said one day, her voice steady. I encouraged her, helping brainstorm approaches. Family first, friends. We role-played conversations, practicing responses to potential reactions. Her parents, conservative in nature, worried her most. We strategized gentle ways to broach the subject. Meanwhile, I researched resources, compiling a list of support hotlines and local groups. Our bond deepened, secrets shared both ways. I confided in her about my own past heartbreaks. A weekend getaway to the mountains provided escape, hiking trails where she shouted her truth to the wind, symbolic release. Campfires at night, roasting marshmallows, stories flowing freely. Back in the city, she attended her first Pride event incognito, describing the vibrancy, the sense of belonging. I accompanied her to a bookstore event with queer authors, buying books for inspiration. Challenges arose. A bad day at work where she felt isolated, calling me in tears. I rushed over with ice cream, listening as she vented. Reassurance followed, reminding her of her strength. Social media became a tool, following influencers who empowered her. We created vision boards for her future, filled with dreams of authenticity. As months turned, her confidence grew, the secret less burdensome shared with me. The turning point came during a family gathering she dreaded. Dressed in her favorite outfit, she drove there with me on speakerphone for moral support. "Remember our little secret until you're ready," I said. Hours later, she called, voice trembling but triumphant. She had told her sister, who reacted with love. Relief washed over us both. Celebratory dinner followed, toasting to small victories. Emboldened, she planned to tell more. Work colleagues next, starting with trusted ones. I helped draft emails, prepare for questions. Positive responses boosted her, though one lukewarm reaction stung. We debriefed over wine, analyzing and moving forward. Romantic interests emerged. She dipped into dating apps for women, sharing funny stories of first messages. I played wingman, advising on profiles. A first date loomed, nerves high, but excitement higher. Post-date debrief, it went well, sparks flying. Our conversations shifted to relationship advice, navigating new terrain. Community involvement grew. She volunteered at LGBTQ+ events, finding purpose. I joined occasionally, learning alongside. Friendships expanded, her circle widening with like-minded people. Yet, she kept some aspects private, honoring our initial pact. Reflections on growth, from hidden to emerging, step by step. Challenges persisted, societal news of setbacks, but resilience built. Our friendship, the anchor, remained steadfast. As time progressed, her journey inspired me to examine my own life, questioning assumptions and privileges. We attended workshops together on allyship, absorbing knowledge. She wrote in a journal, sharing entries that poeticized her experiences. One particularly moving piece described the weight of silence lifting. "You've been my rock," she told me often. Reciprocal support. When I faced career doubts, she listened, offering wisdom from her own transformations. Holidays approached, a test of family dynamics post-revelation. She navigated carefully, some relatives accepting, others needing time. We strategized gifts that subtly affirmed identity. New Year's resolutions included living more openly for her, being a better friend for me. Travel plans hatched, a trip to a pride parade in a big city. Excitement built as we booked flights, researched events. Arrival brought colors, music, crowds celebrating diversity. She marched proudly, flag in hand, tears of joy. Photos captured moments, memories etched. Back home, integration continued. She updated social media profiles subtly. Reactions varied, but support outweighed negativity. Therapy sessions helped process emotions. Recommendations I endorsed. Book club formed with queer literature focus, inviting others. Our duo expanded to a group, fostering connections. Reflections on secrecy's role. Necessary at first, now evolving to openness. Setbacks inevitably occurred, a rejection from a potential partner who wasn't ready, family arguments flaring. I was there, offering shoulders and ears. Our little secret started this, she reflected, grateful for the safe space. Rebounding, she focused on self-love, yoga classes and meditation aiding. I joined, benefiting too. Career shifts considered, she eyed roles in advocacy. Resume tweaks, interview prep with me. Success followed, a new job in a supportive environment. Celebrations ensued, parties with new friends. Romance blossomed again, a steady girlfriend entering the picture. Introductions made, me approving wholeheartedly. Double dates planned, laughter abundant. Community events became regular, parades, fundraisers. She spoke at one, sharing her story anonymously at first. Courage grew, names attached later. Mentorship roles emerged, guiding others. Our talks turned philosophical, identity's fluidity, society's progress. Books exchanged, debates lively. Travel continued, exploring queer-friendly destinations, beaches, cities, cultures enriching. Home life stabilized, family bonds mending. Gratitude expressed often for our friendship's foundation. Years later, looking back, the initial confession seemed a distant memory, yet pivotal. She thrived openly, advocating publicly. I stood beside, proud ally. Weddings attended, hers eventually on the horizon. Planning involved, joy overflowing. Children discussed, adoption paths explored. Life's milestones shared, from promotions to personal triumphs. Challenges met together, like health scares or losses. Support unwavering. Reflections on secrecy's temporary nature, necessary bridge to freedom. Our bond, unbreakable, evolved with time. New adventures awaited, travels, projects, inspiration drawn from each other, growth continuous. The phrase, "our little secret," became an inside joke, symbolizing trust's power. Expanding on daily routines, she incorporated affirmations, mirroring her true self. Mornings started with coffee and journaling, evenings with calls to me, social circles intertwined, joint events frequent, hobbies pursued, art classes depicting identity themes, exhibitions attended, her work displayed, encouragement from me constant. Professional networks built, conferences on diversity, speaking engagements increased, confidence soaring. Personal style evolved, reflecting authenticity. Shopping trips fun, wardrobes refreshed, fitness routines shared, runs in parks discussing life. Nutrition tips exchanged, meals prepared together. Reading lists curated, books on empowerment. Podcasts listened to during commutes, insights shared. Volunteer work deepened, shelters and hotlines. Impact felt, lives touched. Friendships tested and strengthened through honesty. Betrayals rare but handled with grace. Forgiveness themes explored in talks. Cultural immersions followed, festivals celebrating heritage and identity. Music concerts, dances under stars. Poetry slams where she performed, vulnerability raw, applause empowering. Writing pursued, blogs started anonymously, then revealed. Followers grew, messages of thanks incoming. Book deal dreamed, outlines drafted with my input. Editing sessions late night, feedback honest. Publication goals set, agents contacted. Rejections came, perseverance key. Success eventual, launch party joyous. Signings, tours planned. Influence expanded, media interviews. Poise developed, stories shared widely. Legacy building, inspiring generations. Our roles reversed sometimes, her advising me on changes. Introspection periods included retreats, silent meditations on past and future. Nature walks profound, revelations surfacing. Spiritual explorations, finding peace and acceptance. Relationships deepened, commitments made. Engagements announced, celebrations grand. Wedding vows crafted, personal touches abundant. Honeymoons dreamed, destinations exotic. Family expansions, adoptions navigated. Parenting books read, preparations meticulous. Birthdays marked with surprises, traditions created. Anniversaries remembered, the confession date honored privately. Gratitude journals filled, entries reflective. Life's tapestry woven with threads of authenticity. Professional peaks reached, leadership roles in advocacy. Boards joined, policies influenced. Awards received, humility maintained. Mentee programs established, guidance given. Conferences keynoted, applause thunderous. Publications multiplied, series planned. Collaborations with me on projects, synergies perfect. Creative outlets diversified, films scripted. Productions small at first, festivals entered. Wins celebrated, networks expanded. Global travels for causes, cultures embraced. Languages learned, connections forged. Home bases established, sanctuaries of love. Decor reflecting journeys, artifacts meaningful. Gardens tended, metaphors for growth. Pets adopted, companionship added. Health focused, routines balanced. Checkups regular, wellness prioritized. Mental health days observed, self-care essential. Therapies continued, tools acquired. Support groups led, experiences shared. Peer counseling, empathy abundant. Community centers built, funds raised. Initiatives launched, impacts measured. Data analyzed, reports published. Policy changes advocated, victories won. Media presence strong, messages clear. Social media strategies, engagement high. Followers inspired, movements sparked. Partnerships formed, alliances strong. Resources distributed, access improved. Education programs, curricula developed. Leisure pursuits varied, hobbies explored. Painting sessions therapeutic, canvases filled. Music lessons learned, instruments mastered. Concerts performed, audiences captivated. Dance classes involvement, roles acted. Scripts written, stages lit. Festivals organized, communities united. Sports teams joined, competitions fun. Travels adventurous, expeditions bold. Mountains climbed, oceans dived. Wildlife observed, conservation supported. Photography captured, albums compiled. Memoirs drafted, lives documented. Archives preserved, histories honored. Generations connected, stories passed. Philosophical debates endless, ideas exchanged. Books dissected, theories challenged. Lectures attended, knowledge expanded. Degrees pursued, learning lifelong. Mentors sought, wisdom absorbed. Innovations brainstormed, prototypes built. Startups considered, ventures launched. Investments made, risks calculated. Successes shared, lessons learned. Failures analyzed, resilience built. Networks global, collaborations international. Cultures blended, understandings deepened. Languages fluent, translations accurate. Art forms fused, creations unique. Exhibitions curated, themes profound. Audiences engaged, feedback valued. Environmental causes embraced, sustainability practiced, gardens organic, harvests shared, recycling rigorous, wastes minimized, advocacy green, policies pushed, events eco-friendly, footprints small, education environmental, youth taught, schools visited, lessons interactive, curricula green, impacts lasting, research funded, solutions sought, technologies adopted, efficiencies gained, communities resilient, preparations made, disasters aided, relief provided, volunteers mobilized, efforts coordinated, rebuilding supported, hopes restored, future sustainable, visions clear. Artistic expressions diversified, mediums mixed, sculptures crafted, materials varied, installations public, messages bold, performances live, emotions raw, collaborations artistic, synergies creative, festivals cultural, participations active, awards artistic, recognitions earned, galleries represented, sales successful, commissions accepted, projects custom, inspirations drawn from life, works personal, critiques welcomed, improvements made, evolutions artistic, styles refined, legacies artistic, influences lasting, students taught, talents nurtured, workshops led, skills transferred, social justice pursued, equalities fought, marches joined, voices raised, petitions signed, changes demanded, laws challenged, rights defended, alliances built, solidarity shown, education's anti-bias, trainings conducted, workplaces inclusive, cultures shifted, policies equitable, implementations monitored, progress tracked, reports issued, celebrations diverse, inclusivities honored, histories reclaimed, narratives corrected, museums visited, exhibits appreciated, dialogues open, understandings fostered, bridges built, divides narrowed, futures equitable, dreams collective, personal growth continuous, goals set high, journals reflective, insights gained, meditations daily, minds cleared, exercises mental, puzzles solved, readings broad, perspectives widened, travels introspective, souls searched, retreats spiritual, renewals found, relationships nurtured, bonds strengthened, forgiveness is granted, healings achieved, gratitudes practiced, joys amplified, challenges embraced, growths accelerated, achievements celebrated, milestones marked, reflections yearly, progresses noted, plans future, aspirations bold, legacies planned, impacts maximized, community leadership assumed, roles pivotal, councils joined, decisions influenced, initiatives community, improvements made, funds raised, projects completed, volunteers mentored, teams built, events organized, participations high, feedback loops, adjustments swift, successes communal, credits shared, challenges addressed, solutions collaborative, visions shared, alignment achieved, sustainabilities ensured, transitions smooth, successors groomed, knowledge transferred, retirements considered, legacy secured, contributions lasting, appreciations deep, memories cherished, stories retold. In culmination, the journey from secret to celebration epitomized resilience's triumph, friendships eternal, supports unwavering, lives enriched, purposes fulfilled, horizons expanded, possibilities endless, gratitudes infinite, bonds sacred, futures bright, adventures awaiting, reflections profound, lessons internalized, inspirations perpetual, influences rippling, communities stronger, worlds bettered, individuals empowered, collective united, endings new beginnings, cycles continuing, promises kept, trusts honored, secrets transformed, truths liberated, lives authentic, spirits free.